Let's move on to the next story. Michael Clark's comment about Virat Kohli. He's already got 100 in Perth, looking ominous, looking dangerous. When I think about losing the test match, there's one thing, and when I think about Virat Kohli making 100 in the first test, that scares me a lot. I'll go for Virat being the leading run scorer for India in the second test. And why not? It's being played at Adelaide, jahan pe hopefully we'll see a statue for Virat Kohli. I mean, Srini, Virat Kohli and Adelaide is a love affair, is a love
Yeah,
story,
but
right?
this Michael Clark, I really hope he gets paid very well for all this, all these comments that he keeps making. I mean, non-stop
Yeah,
chatter. I mean, I
I'm
hope
sure
he's
he's getting
getting
paid
good
very
money
well.
for it. Yeah, I mean, he has a view on everything in life. I mean, but fair enough. But yeah, Virat Kohli. I mean, see, Virat
Mm.
Kohli, Australia. Again, I mean, Sir Don Bradman's record under threat. So chatter around Virat never tends to kind of stop. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the
But
most
let's
obvious
let's
thing that is
overall
going
talk
on.
about it. Let's overall talk about it. What does it mean that the fact that he looked really good, really comfortable, uh, in that first test, got those runs. India won as well. It's a feel good factor as always. And most importantly, he's going to his favorite hunting ground in Australia. Well, what does it mean
That's
to you?
it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's going to his favorite hunting ground. He's in Australia. That itself, the country, that he loves to tour. His records speak for him. The media loves him. And he obviously has no love lost. With certain. So I mean, all of that. Virat Kohli's Australia story is love, absolute love. Kind of. That kind of is one of the factors that kind of adds a lot of gravitas to the Border Gavaskar Trophy, and adds a lot of gravitas to this rivalry in the first place. Now that said, Virat Kohli's century in the third test, yes, great to see him back among runs. Great man, this thing for India again. Threat gets bigger for Australia, etc., etc. But at basic point is by the time he arrived and started batting, the hard work was done. So I'm not. That's why the more I speak about Virat, the more I'll have to go back to speak about Yashasvi and KL Rahul in that test match. The more I speak with KL Rahul, if I speak with the more I speak about Virat, I'll have to kind of double up what I say about Yashasvi and KL, because it all started with the two of them. Now, having said that, if this whole chatter, the Michael Clarks of Australia are going to keep themselves busy with Virat Kohli, so be it. It's good for India. I mean, at least there's nobody talking about Yashasvi and nobody talking about KL, and that gives them the freedom to kind of do and what they are doing very well right now.
Mm.
So I'll stick to that.
Okay, Gopayan, your thoughts on this? Let's get some comments. And Ravi Shankar आए हैं, जुड़े हैं हमारे साथ. क्या कह रहे हैं? Last time when India played international match at Adelaide, England beat India by 10 wickets and Virat Kohli scored an iconic 40 ball 50. अच्छी memory है. That was a different format, Ravi Shankar. Um, Clark is being candid. I believe Adelaide is Virat's fortress. Pink ball test is a different kettle of fish, even for the best in the business. But he got 76 last time, and that was a fabulous 76. और शायद अगर रन आउट नहीं होता, again let's not go there, but अगर नहीं होता तो शायद एक सेंचुरी लग जाती. But he was looking fabulous for that 76. That was I think, if we can say it, Gopayan, that was perhaps the best looking Virat we remember, right? And we haven't seen that Virat for a very long time now. क्योंकि उसके बाद तो
like if
बहुत ही
you,
पैचिस
yeah
हो गया था.
if you say after 2019, then yes, that was a
Yeah,
very
because
very
after that
good
we've seen a very patchy
but
Virat,
but
right?
but
So
what
from
what
that
we saw
perspective,
Virat
that
in
76
Adelaide.
was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me the best Virat was the second innings of the 2016 Adelaide Test match, when India were chasing what 380 or something and fell short by 48 runs, and how he changed the like
No, no,
approach
no.
of Indian cricket. Yeah, like that.
No, no, just
Yeah.
a sec, just a sec. Just to
Mhm.
be clear, what I meant was before this up and down in his touch, in his
Yeah,
form,
yeah, yeah. I
उसकी बात कर
understand
रहा हूँ.
what you were saying.
उससे पहले जो last innings that comes to my mind where we saw the dominating Virat, the free flowing Virat, the
True.
Virat Kohli that we know really.
Hmm.
That was that 76. But otherwise, that second innings in Adelaide, that is for me, in personally, that for
Yeah.
me is his best knock ever.
Best knock ever.
I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, I have a
Hmm.
picture from that particular knock. वो मैंने संभाल के रखी
Hmm.
हुई है. That was my first tour to Australia as well. I can't forget that innings. That second
Uh,
innings 100 was amazing.
yeah. But having said all the good things that need to be said, I want to go back to one statement of mine which I predicted in the ahead of the first test, and I stick to it, that Virat Kohli's success in this test match, in this test series, has a lot to do with how the openers play the new ball. If
Hmm.
the new ball is blunted, if Virat Kohli does not come at 10 for 2, then
Yeah.
he is a different beast. That
Altogether, yes.
old, yeah, then he will be very very good. But if
Hmm.
again Australia has India in that spot where they had them in the first innings, then
Hmm.
I am not very sure whether we will see that Virat Kohli against
Yes.
the moving ball at a pace,
I'm
moving
glad
ball
you
at a,
said that. I'm
yeah.
glad you said that. When I say you said that, as in जब मैंने ये कहा था ना तो मुझे काफी गालियां पड़ी थी comments में. But I'm glad somebody else is also thinking that. Let's go to the Virat fan amongst us, the biggest Virat fan amongst us. Sahil, how relevant is this point कि अगर आप 10 for 2 नहीं होंगे? And I think it's not just about Virat, it's about any batting lineup. अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी 10 for 2 हो जाएगा पहले बैटिंग करके तो then they are also in deep trouble, especially with the pink ball. So I think this test match is about which bowling attacks gonna come on top, and I think that is going to be the theme throughout the series, especially with the Jasprit Bumrah in the Indian attack.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be the story at least before the first test. Now, with India batters finding their mojo in the first test, I think scales have tilted slightly in favor of India as far as batting is also concerned. Right now,
Hmm.
Australia look a very fractured batting unit.
Hmm.
Marcus Labuschagne, Steve Smith, they just don't give you the confidence which is required from a middle order.
Hmm.
Now, just taking on from what Dwaipan was mentioning about Virat, I think yes, he made a very valid point, and more than Michael Clark's statement, I think if we can replay the Alan Border comment, I think we did play that in one of the shows where Alan Border mentioned how Australia allowed Virat to just run away with that 100. So
Hmm.
Australia also allowed him to score that 100 because they dropped
Yeah.
guard. एक पॉइंट के बाद जब बॉल में कुछ हो नहीं रहा था, एंड एक्चुअली अलाउड विराट टू जस्ट स्पेंड सम टाइम आउट देयर व्हेन बॉल wasn't doing much, so that did help him. Otherwise, if you look at the first innings, the few deliveries which he faced, he looked absolutely uncomfortable. He was facing the ball, मतलब वो ball
Hmm.
sticker पे meet हो रहा था. He was not meeting the ball where it was supposed to be met. The guard was all over the place. He was standing outside the crease. So clearly a lot of confusion was there in the head. But the moment ball soft hua, you got a good start. There was confidence in his stride. He restored the guard, restored the position around the popping crease, and looked a much better batter. But it will change when it becomes 10 for 2 for sure. So Virat
Okay.
has to kind of find his way around that, and I completely agree with Dwaipan on that. वो 10 for 2 से आपको bail out करने
Yes.
वाला player, what we saw in South Africa probably a couple of times, I don't see that happening because a lot is going in his head. अभी वो desperation उसकी batting में दिख नहीं रहा, but inside you can make out that he's very desperate to get those test runs now. Because,
Right.
as I said, RCB title and Virat Kohli Mount 10K is still unfinished business for him.